They follow them on social media. TikTok, four of them are on TikTok. They now started talking about TikTok Lite. It was from them that I knew about TikTok Lite, right? I've always known about TikTok Lite. There's always Facebook Lite. They started talking about TikTok Lite, how it's all fake news there. Good, kudos to them that they at least they know. I did not interrupt them, because if I interrupted them, they will not talk again. I kept quiet. I wanted to hear everything they were saying. You know, they were now talking about how one of them sells bomb shots. So one of them was like, why don't you wear the bomb shots to work? And she said, no, why would I wear bomb shot to work now? One of them now said, there are people who wear it. Are they not human beings? Don't they wear it? The person now said, no. Bomb shots are not meant to be worn outside of the house. It is meant to be worn within the house, in your own house. That I can't even wear it downstairs. You know, in my head I was like, kudos, it's good. You know, it's good that at least you now know that bomb shot is not worn out there. But I was just wondering, the other one that was telling her, why don't you wear bomb shot? Why don't you wear it? Come to the market with it. There are others that go to market with it. Are they not human beings? Now, this brings us to what I want us to talk about today. I told you that in every month, one Saturday, we'll dedicate it to questions teenagers ask. And this is such Saturday, since it fell on the first Saturday. Maybe every first Saturday of the month, we're going to look at questions teenagers ask, so that we'll find answers. Now, as a parent, please, don't play when we tell you. Of course, you are the one parent. In fact, from that conversation these four teenagers were having, I concluded that the problem, if there is anything that is a problem that teenagers have, is the parents. Because it is the parents that hand them phones. You parents are the ones that will give these teenagers phones. You give them phones and you still don't teach them what to do with their phones. You don't know that there are people online influencing your children the same way that people are influenced offline. The same way that you want to warn your teenager, don't follow that person, don't follow that person, don't go to that house, don't go to that house. You're warning them not to go to that house because you don't want them to be influenced negatively. But under your roof, your teenagers are being influenced, your teenagers are being spoiled by the gadgets you have armed them with. You give them a phone that has data. You don't even restrict to know exactly what they are doing online. Teenagers are literally online. They are on TikTok and they are following people who don't even have values. Not that everybody on TikTok don't have values, but there are people who don't have values that they are following. You see it in the way they dress. You see a lot of young girls, they put on baggy, like they put on baggy and oversized t-shirts. There's a TikToker who wears baggy and oversized t-shirt. And what does that TikToker do? That TikToker is busy dancing on TikTok. Most of the times when students come to 20 Sport Show and I ask them, what do you do on TikTok? They say, I'm learning dance steps. I never paid attention to that. I never really paid attention to that until I decided to start following all of the TikTokers that they've called their names. I follow all of them now because I want to know exactly what they are doing. And I found out what your children are doing. Now, to the teenager who is listening to me right now, you go on TikTok. Once you go on TikTok, the algorithm is pushing that particular TikToker. I'm not going to call any name, but you all know those TikTokers that you follow. The algorithm keeps pushing their content to you. If it's the one that are dancing, how can someone wake up from morning till night, the person is dancing? You're just dancing. There are people who dance for a living. Don't get me wrong. There are people who dancing is their career. Kathy, the one that dances, the dance queen, she dances, right? It is her career. Kathy the dancer is her career, right? One of the P squares. Except you want to be a musician. But if you want to be a musician, understand that there are people who use music for impact, right? What are you doing what if that thing, if you want to go on TikTok to be learning dance steps, there are, I mean, the people who are using music for impact, these are the people that you should follow. Don't you think so? And there is time for everything. It is not the time that you're supposed to study, the time that you're supposed to read. You're using it to be on TikTok and you're watching dance videos, because TikTok, 1 minute videos, 2 minute videos, latest 1 minute 30 seconds videos, sometimes 30 seconds videos, and it will keep you there. Before you know what's happening, 2 hours, 3 hours, you are literally strolling. All right. And another thing that I figured out from these four teenagers, like I said, they were in a salon, okay, and there are places, I believe there are places young teenagers shouldn't go to. I don't know how to put this, but there are certain discussions that go on in the salon that teenagers should not be exposed to. Yes, you can actually learn hairstyling, right? But there are certain discussions going on there that you shouldn't get yourself involved in, that you shouldn't even listen to. Very important, especially those of you that go to salons to learn hairstyling. It is beautiful, you're trying to pick a skill, but focus on the skill you're picking. Now, by the time this woman was done with my hair, it was time for her to now use hot water on my hair. Do you know that these teenagers went and sat down and were with their phones, pressing their phones? These are people that came to learn work. How would they now learn? Again, well, the person that made my hair, she had a visitor. In fact, I'm going to talk about that visitor on another day. I got into that salon by 3 p.m. I was there because of the hair I made. I was there till past 6, after 6. There's this one that came to see her. This one kept talking from that time I got into the salon till the time I left. But there was something that she said that made sense to me out of all the things that she was saying. She was now talking to the young teenagers. She told them that if you come to a salon to learn work, you should have a doll baby that has hair. So that when whatever hair your madam does, when you get home, you will practice it on the doll baby. She was now telling them about a particular nail technician around Obomano where she goes to make her nails. That particular nail technician, that if you want to come and learn work from her, that you will have your own equipment. Everything about making hair, you have your own equipment, so that you don't come there and start begging. She was now telling these young girls, how can you come to learn hair, you don't have that doll baby that you can practice on? Where are you practicing? Because everything about creativity, hairstyling, tailoring, whatever you use your hands to, in fact everything about creativity, the more you do it, the more you're better at it. When I started creativity, just like talking is a skill. I hope you're aware. Presenting on air is a skill. When I started presenting on air, it wasn't like this. I was not this person. I wasn't this tush. I wasn't like this. I kept doing it, and you know what it means to do something consistently over the years. Right now, I don't even think twice to come up with ideas on what to do, because I already have a template of what I want to do. I have a vision, I have a mission of what I want to achieve. I have an agenda of what I want to achieve. It applies the same way in everything that we do. Experience. As you do it, as you practice it, you get better. As a teenager, you're listening to me right now. Probably you paid to learn something from someone. When you get there, pay attention to that thing you've gone to learn. I don't understand it. When the woman was doing the finishing touches on my hair, they were busy. The four of them went and they sat down and they were talking. They were not even paying attention. The woman, what she said was that according to her, she said she has trained a lot of people, that anybody that wants to work, once you come into her shop, if you want to learn, she will teach you. If you don't want to learn, that she doesn't have time. There are different kinds of people. But you as the teenager, you went there to work. It's just like going to school. You are in school, not for your parents. A lot of you think you're in school to make your parents happy. A lot of you think you're in school because your parents are paying the school fees. You don't even understand the reason why you're in school. You're in school to be empowered. A lot of 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds all over the world are doing great and amazing things. Ask yourself, probably you're 15, you're 14, you're 13. Ask yourself, what am I doing? What have I done differently from others? Once you pick your mother's phone, you're on TikTok. That TikTok are you aware that it was someone who developed that TikTok? Developed it for tech candies. It's someone who is tech savvy that came up with solutions and developed TikTok. And you now go and binge on TikTok. To the extent that sometimes for teenagers who already have phones, when they are it's so bad that parents will buy their teenagers phones. People that are still in secondary school phones. You as a parent, when data is off, you will still buy data, give them. I don't want to get angry. So, it's questions that teenagers ask. That's what we're talking about. Please, I keep saying it all the time. If you're a teenager, you're still in secondary school and you have a phone, you don't need that phone. If you're not using that phone productively, right, you don't need it. Ask yourself, what do I do with my phone? You chat with it. You scroll with it. Sometimes some people have already been addicted to porn as a result of phone. So ask yourself, what have you achieved with that phone? What have you learned with that phone? What thing? Are you learning coding? A lot of you are going to say, okay, I'm learning coding. Okay, from the coding you're learning, what and what? Except people that are into tech, because there are teenagers, younger people who go into tech early enough. In fact, I was on Instagram the other day and I stumbled upon an event in Lagos, children in AI. My goodness, I was excited. I said, wow, this is the kind of thing I wanted to do for my upcoming program, Teens Techpreneurs, which will come in October. I said, this is the kind of things I want to do. Since I now know that a lot of young people, teenagers, children are making use of the phone. Children are making use of technology. Let us mold them to use technology for development. Since I know that parents now literally go to the market, buy phones and give it to their children, now my duty is to convert these children who already own phones so that they can use these phones for good. Anyway, be on the lookout. Teens Techpreneurs will be coming up in October. Once everything is clear, you will know about it. Teens Techpreneur. It involves debate, public speaking. You hackathon, you're going to pitch a solution, you're going to come up with a tech solution, you're going to look around you, your environment, and figure out a tech solution, something that you can sell in the market, something that is bankable and something that is marketable. Isn't that amazing? That is brilliant. Since you already have phones, I don't want you going to porn sites. No. I don't want you getting addicted. No. I don't want you becoming addicted to the screen for no just cause. No. If you're going to use phone, you will use it for development. You will use it effectively. If you're going to use phone, since your parents have decided to give you phones, it is my duty to ensure that you don't go to porn sites, that you don't get addicted to horrible things, that you don't get influenced by people who will tell you that taking drugs is the best thing that will happen to you. No. Rather, you think of creating solutions. You think of something, because I know your young mind is blazing. Your mind is powerful. Your minds are powerful. So you think of something you can do, a solution, a tech solution you can create with your phones. Okay, so some of the questions that teenagers ask, let me see. Okay, I have a ton of them. My mom told me that once you have sex and hymen breaks, your physical body begins to damage. That is stretch marks, although it's natural, open vagina, body odor. Is it true? Now, the truth of the matter is that as a young person, you're still developing. I always tell you here, please, no to sex. It's very important. As a teenager, you don't need sex. Sex will literally distract you. Sex is for married adults. It's for married people. As a young, growing adult, you don't need sex. Yeah, your hormones will be raging. Your hormones, it's part of your build-up. You're still developing, even your prefrontal. Prefrontal cortex. Prefrontal cortex, which is part of the brain that is charged with decision making, is still developing. It develops fully at 25. That's to say, even at 24, there are a lot of things that you do that, okay, probably because your brains are still developing. So you that is 18, 19, you're listening to me right now, understand that your brain is still developing. Your prefrontal cortex, which is the CEO of the brain, is still developing. It is in charge of decision making. It's in charge of everything that you do as a human being. It is still developing. So you're not even fully developed to make those kind of decisions, especially when it has to do with emotions. It's very important. So don't make decisions that will mar your life. Very, very important. So it's actually no to sex. It's no to sex, because when you start having sex, and that's true. If your mom told you you start developing immediately, yes, you will develop immediately. You develop immediately. And when you now become addicted to sex, it's another horrible thing altogether. You lose focus. You lose distraction. You'll be distracted. You're no longer thinking about how can I be a world changer? How can I make impact? How can I influence my world positively? All you're thinking about is the next boyfriend, the next girlfriend, the next place we are going, the next thing we are doing. You're not even thinking about your education. And that's not good for you. Okay. Oh wow, this one says, please God help me to read my books very well and to be punctual in writing my notes, and please help me so that I will not be a victim of bed urination. I understand that some young adults, some teenagers still suffer from bedwetting. There are specific things you need to do. Okay, there are hands-on practical things that you can actually do. If you're still suffering from bedwetting, there are number one, you need to control how you take water before you sleep. Right? Then you need to have an accountability partner, someone that will wake you up at least every 3 hours so that you go and urinate. Because you are wetting the bed because of your inability to get up at the time you are supposed to get up. Probably you are in your dream and you're having a dream, and in that dream, you're having a dream where you're urinating. And as you're urinating, as you wake up, you see that you've urinated upon yourself. But when you have someone who wakes you up, maybe, first of all, you need to stop eating late. Then control the amount of water you take before you sleep. When you control the amount of water you take before you sleep, have someone, an accountability partner. It could be your mother, it could be your father, it could be one of your siblings, that will help you to wake you up so that you can always go and ease yourself. I believe in that way. Then if it persists, you could actually seek medical help, because it could be that there are certain things in your body that are not the right way it should be, that needs to be corrected, right? But if it's not a medical condition, when you apply these things that I've told you, don't eat late in the night. It takes discipline and sacrifice, because when you build your body will now know, okay, I'm not supposed to eat by this time of the day. You eat early enough. Then you don't drink too much water towards your bedtime. I believe these things will help you, okay? If someone is giving you money every day, does that mean the person wants to have sex with you? It's called grooming. There are pedophiles, there are unsafe adults who try to groom teenagers. They start by giving you little gifts. Today, they'll call you a fine girl. How are you? I like your physique. You're beautiful. Okay? Fine girl. How are you? It could actually be your landlord. In one of the schools we went to, I've heard stories of a girl where her landlord was the one. Each time this man comes back, this man will put his hand on her shoulder and will be touching her breast. We now asked her, did you tell your mother? She said she did not tell the mother. Why wouldn't you tell your mom? So it's a grown man. I call them pedophiles. These are people who have bad intentions towards teenagers. They'll be giving you money. The next thing they will tell you, come. The day they will come out real, they will tell you, come and give me that thing that you give your boyfriend. Your boyfriend has been doing it. Come, let's do it together. Just don't even wait for him to get to that point. Once anybody starts offering you unsolicited gifts, please run away. They are eyeing something. The beautiful thing is, I mean, the annoying thing, not the beautiful thing. The annoying thing is that it can happen to boys, it can happen to girls. There could be older women who will be trying to lure a younger boy to have sex with them, and older men trying to lure a younger girl to have sex with them. So it's across genders. So once that person starts giving you that person is grooming you, preparing you for abuse. That is how they abuse young people sexually. So anytime anybody is giving you gifts that you did not ask for, if I don't even ask for it, whatever you want, go to your father and your mother and ask of them. If they don't give you, relax, calm down. It means that it's not there at that time. When it's available, they will give you. Take care of yourself. Take care of your life. There are some decisions that you make now that in 10 years' time you're wondering, why did I even make this decision? But I believe that by listening to 28 Sports Show, by having me around, you will always make the right decisions. My name is Oma. You're very sweetheart on radio, TV, social media, sweetheart everywhere. We are going to do this again next month. Okay? 28 Sports Show comes again next week. Do have a great time. Good evening.